Perfect. So there we are, right? Warriors for elements, elemental inputs for solve ventures. So all of us, we came together for a reason, or at least we had a reason in the beginning, right? So we are across industries and different, we work in different types of companies and everything, but we came together after a call that was made. That's not working very well. So that's what you received as an idea when you first entered practically the incubation. That it will be 3 months, it will be 16 initiatives, and we will go into the assessment of the 4 elements and capitals, the exchange of them to be able to create a mega organism. And that's what attracted you, right? In the system, that's what you heard. And then it's like the very reasonable question that might have come into your mind until now is like, why bother to enter in such a complicated process? Like literally, why we just don't do it like easily the way it has been done, and etc. Right? And there are many reasons for that. I will guide you through some of them. Sorry, but it's running way too fast. I think it's just, yeah, that's where we are. So we are all in conscious businesses, right? Most of us, at least, we have onboarded full on into companies that they are not operating the traditional way. And the thing with not operating in the traditional way is that you cannot also tap into the traditional supporting systems because they simply don't work. They either don't connect to you or you don't connect to them. One of the two. It's practically the very reasonable question, and like put yourself into the position of an investor, for example. If our companies are not primarily focused in growing financial profit, but growing impact, why would somebody invest in us? Like as simple as that. Because investors until now are looking at profit, and that's financial profit. Let's just be very clear. That's facts, right? But we're looking somewhere differently. So the whole question is like, how do we allow what we believe in to become attractive enough and important enough and secure and systematize it so it can be a proposal practically. So how we have the resources that we need and we can attract investment at the same time. And I believe that we need to talk the old language of business just in a new way, because if we change it completely, nobody will connect to it. We still have to guide people through to the new world of business that we are wishing to establish, right? And we are all working it from our own initiatives. And the systems need to be self-sufficient because we don't know how long it will take to actually click and plug into the old finances. We really don't know. It hasn't happened yet. I thought it would have happened until now, but they're still resisting most of the traditional investors. And I feel that anyway, it's extremely important to be self-sufficient, so we don't need to depend always in external support. Because the system, it really becomes resilient when it can generate its own energy. So that's practically why we embodied in what we are doing. It's like knowing your resources can make you abundant because you know what you have. Most of us, even inside our organizations, we don't really know the people who are there, what other assets they're bringing. We think that we know for what we hire them or what we approach them first. But as you saw when we went into the process, there's a very extended list of assets that are there, right? So that's why we went into the 3 layers of mapping. It was the 4 capitals in the very beginning, if you remember. It feels like ages. That was back in December 2021. We went into the mapping of the tribe, and I still have to go deeper into that, but that's practically how it is right now. And third, we went into the mapping of the assets of each one of you. And I have just categorized them there, and they are in Notion, you can tap into them. I just categorized them exactly what we were saying in all the calls for each one of you. So that's what you see in number 3. And the exchange of these resources, of these assets, will allow us to become self-sufficient. So we don't need so much from the outside. On the opposite, we can offer a lot from inside the community to the outside world, because every system needs to have a circulation of energy to be able to grow. And that's basic physics. So what we are supposed to create, or what is like the system of the 4 elements, or whatever you have been hearing all the time, the 4 elements, the 4 capitals, the 4, is for that, to connect resource needs and resources and be able to do that automatically, right? We are doing it manually for now to see what works and what doesn't, because that's a system that everybody's talking, everybody feels, everybody knows that this can exist, because it does exist in nature, right? This is not new, but we haven't managed as human beings to make it seamless. We are all, many of us, many initiatives are working in the same direction. That's not only us doing it, wow, right? But we are doing it also for our network. And the more we collaborate with other people who are doing similar things, the more we will be able to manifest that in real life. That's the new step of humanity. That's not just warriors, just to be clear here. I would love you to consider, until now, with everything you have experienced, what would you wish this system to be like from your side? Because I would love to hear what does that bring for each one of you. And just, you can just drop me a text or send me a voice message or email me or whatever, you know where I am. If something's coming into your mind, your imagination of how the system is, please share it. We are downloading it all together. We are creating it all together. That's why we entered this process. If I knew how this is supposed to be, I would have just done it, but that's not the point. We're all creating it together. It's not supposed to come from one person, the system. So why we engaged in the process that we engaged, and why you came in just with a very vague idea, and why you didn't get this presentation from the beginning, and why I didn't give you a form to complete and just having the steps mapped and just go for it, right? Why on earth did I complicate your life so much? There is a specific 6 steps Paul process practically that is coming from the very well-known hero's journey, right? When I tapped into that, I realized why warriors is called warriors. The warriors4elements is a name that really came to me, and it didn't want to let me go. I wanted to change it because it resembles to war. It comes in mind, it brings war in mind, but it keeps sticking because it's the archetype of the warrior. It's not about war. And practically, we have all reached until the level of warrior at least, meaning you have all created your initiative, you have all created your startup, right? That really needs specific attributes to be able to do it. And that's the warrior archetype. And that's probably why you felt connected also to the word, to the initiative, to myself, to everything, right? The thing is that in the age that we're entering, we are supposed to all become magicians of our own lives, not just remain in the warrior spirit that it needs a lot of effort and a lot of power, willpower to make things happen. The magician is somebody who just creates life around them as they go, as they are. And my computer is stuck, so I'm not sure if you're listening to me. You are, right? You're still listening to me. Okay, perfect. Because my computer was stuck, so I was like, maybe I'm talking alone about how to become a magician. So the steps practically to become a magician, you have to tap into your altruist and then into your innocent. And that's the altruism. That's why everybody's been called, requested to, if you want to tap into something and just bring in what you're bringing in, just do it. And many of you have already started picking parts of the system and creating them and really giving your time and your knowledge, just offering it into the system. And trust me, I truly appreciate it, and I know and record every single contribution just for you to know. It's tracked in Notion, but it's also tracked in my mind, first of all. And then we have also to tap into the innocent. And that's why you didn't get all the information from the beginning. You had to trust. It's funny and it's weird, but we do need to place a card of trust to unlock new steps. And probably you know that already. Probably many of you have done it previously in your life. First you trust, then the universe gives you the next step. It doesn't go the other way. And I personally believe that when many of us are unlocking these new steps together, it's even easier to tap into the magician. And I feel that the collective power, it's even more powerful than just being your own personal magician, because it's just easier when you have other people around you activating the same archetypes. So that's the 6. That's another 6 at least. So our next steps, right? We are in February already. It is the last month of the 3 of the first cycle that we started together. And we are really going to go in the next 3 weeks, and we're going to discuss how we're really going to go into the exchange of the resources. So we will identify what do we need, who has it, how we can exchange in the best way. There are 3, anyway, I'll take you through the steps and then we'll go into the February. In March, in the 3rd of March, we are completing the first cycle. We have a small gap to be able to have a review and implementation, and then we start the next cycle from the 21st of March. In this gap in between, it's optional, this gap in between. If you wish to be part of this process, I will be delighted. You don't need to be there, right? Like, it's really, really, if you feel that it's calling you, you want to be there, you have something to offer, you have started already a process that is to be implemented, this is the time we will take to really just gather everything that happened and put it into the informations flows, the portals, the services, everything that the next batch of entrepreneurs will receive. So practically what we experienced and what we chose that is the best way to go, it will be the base for the next group. In the next group, I include all of us or anybody who wants to continue, right? It's not like, it's not a new group, it's just an add-on, let's say, just additional people coming in every season. So that's a little bit of what we're gonna do in the next couple of weeks.